very active in the ending of last week and throughout this weekend that then expose other members of the community, especially out here in Nuuli, in the VOC church behind the Aveina store. And from there, we believe that it has now spread to a good portion of the population. Currently, there's no evidence of the virus being on the far east and the far west of our island, but we anticipate that with the high transmissibility of the COVID-19 virus that we're suspecting is Omicron, that our entire island will be inundated with the virus in a short time. That's why at this time we are urging the public to please, in order for us to fight this, we all need to work together, and please heed the emergency and the code red status that was just announced. Everybody needs to take their part now. This is not the time to look at faults and what should have happened, but now is the time for us to come together as a community to please stay at home. If you don't need to travel anywhere, stay at home. The virus travels with people. If you move around and you have the virus will move around. If you have family members that might be immunocompromised, please take actions at home to not get them exposed. However, but if you do suspect that someone in your family has been exposed, to bring them out to one of our community COVID-19 clinics. Over there, they will be tested. They will be assessed by our physicians to see if they fit the criteria for treatment. This is how we will save lives. One is to vaccinate. Get fully vaccinated. Get your booster when it's time to get the booster. And then two, come in quickly to get tested and be evaluated if you will be fitting the criteria for the treatment. And then remember that the treatment therapies that we have here we have a limited supply, and it's only for those who are immunocompromised and have chronic conditions that might put them at risk for severe disease. So I know this is an extended answer to your question, Philly, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
E luna e ofisile atu I lau whionga I Lieutenant Kovana. Mo no le wa fia tātou le virus o le whaamai o le COVID-19. O le fasili po o lava tāpena le tātou whainga malo. E tali atu I tangata pa awhai ai wha o popoina. Lau whainga o tangata o le atunu o le a fia I le virus o le whaamai o le COVID-19. Luna lua lau fasili. O le lewa tātou I le code red. Whamata wale o aranga te tauna tau fia tātou whainga malanga. I olo o malanga mai whafo. No lewa muna mawina nei o malanga ia mai whafo. Lewa mawhoi na pisia le tunu I le virus o le COVID-19. Whamata le ieise fo whanga de whainga malu na ia polo kaina. Ma tau fia tātou whainga malanga ia tu utiti ai le a fio le tunu I le COVID-19.
Raftai Malsili e tai alanga te tau le fsili lea ma le fsili a fili ile closed down. Question is whether the government is ready and whether we should close down completely, including the flights that are coming in. Ole, the operation of the government will be done based on the assessment of our medical community and based on our review of the facts on the ground. So whether or not we enter a complete shutdown of the government will be determined on what we see in the next couple of weeks. Regarding a complete shutdown, I've said before that we are entering the third phase of our operation. And the third phase is learning to live with COVID. And so we need to be patient and be vigilant and to make decisions based on facts and not on emotions or things that will be unnecessary. So, le silipo wa lava sauni le whainga malo. Ia, o lo utali tonunga wa lava sauni le whainga malo. Ua, o lewa o na tātou sauni uni nei, le aso le nei. Ua ovai le lua tau sanga, tālua na tātou sauni uni. O awha ilonga o sauni uninga. Ia o lea ua ova nei le valus fulpasene ua fully vaccinated o tātou atunu. O lea o lo tele pea ia vaccines e fofo ai le atunu. O lea vau tau nu mai whala au e fofo ai wha mai. O lona winga ua le o toe tutusa le tuolanga na ia i tausanga e lua iu mawai ua tātou sauni. Ia o lea fo uvava ai atu. O a unga al wha mai e le o mawhatia tele ai la tau ua whaina. Ia e le ai e nofo vava ai a pea ma tau mawhai ia mauti noa. O le anganga na e le official soifua malaulo ina ma le tātou whainga malo. O lea ua tātou o nei o vave le code red ina ia tau fiofi lai titi. Le pepesi tele o le wha mai ma sei vava ai fo ia fionga i fo mai. Pe whawhi ia aunga o le wha mai. Salo a mae a lua nei vai aso ia, le vai aso le mua ia manai aso. Ia o na mua mai foi leo se whautuanga a li fo mai. Pe wha a wau pia tātou malanga ma isi tūlanga al temi nei. E le iaia se meo suia o tūlanga malanga o leo lo o fufua pe whai. Ia ai tātou tangai mua i tutonu iso tātou atunu. Whaftai mo le fisili. KVZK, ese fisili KVZK ala wha uma tātou. Ia o le temin
I hope you can hear me. This is Monica Miller, 93 KHJ. They've said that they have limited tests for COVID. When are we expecting supplies from Momolen? And also for the AG. So we've had code red since midnight Monday, which said after 9 o'clock. But it seems as if there's been no enforcement. So are they going to start doing that now?
Ole Tato enforcement, Monica or Ms. Miller, is that we're in a code red, which does provide for a territorial curfew starting at 9 p.m. The Commissioner of Public Safety and the police have been informed or reminded of this, and it is their duty to enforce it. We also have asked the Pulinus and the Deputy Secretary of Samoan Affairs to help enforce this territorial curfew. And they've indicated that the Pulinus are doing that in the various villages.
To address the question regarding our test supplies, yes, we do have a limited number of test supplies here on island, and we want to make sure that we are testing those individuals who needs to be tested so that we can identify those who needs to be assessed for the therapeutic treatment. It is also recommended that all family members who might be symptomatic and know they have a known exposure, meaning that you've been exposed to someone who traveled within 14 days, or if you yourself have traveled in the past 14 days, or if you've been exposed to someone that's known to have tested positive for COVID-19, those are the individuals we're asking to, yes, please come in and to our community COVID-19 clinics. At those clinics, you'll be assessed. You'll be tested, and for those who test positive, those individuals will be assessed by our doctors whether they need treatment or not. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
We're also making arrangements
I feel it. Just a quick follow-up question. You spoke of the limited supply of COVID-19 treatments and that those would be reserved for people that were older or had comorbidities. Do we have a limited supply because that medicine is hard to get or because we don't need it?
Yes, it's a limited supply because it is hard to get. But however, we are working very closely with our federal partners, and we've asked to release and increase our allotment. So that has already happened, and we expect a lot more medications to come our way in the near future. And as of right now, like what our Lieutenant Governor is saying, the reason why we want to put the code red in place is to minimize traffic so that we can slow down spread of this COVID-19 while we await some of these supplies to come in. For testing supplies, yeah, we have a lot that are ordered. Should be on its way. We're also working with our federal partners and also with the Office of ODAPM here to really arrange that to get here as soon as possible. Hopefully, I'm not going to say a time and promise anything, but it might be within the weeks. So I hope that answers the question.
Media partners from Memorial send all your questions to the email. We'll have somebody who answer your questions from Memorial because of the
Young Mutsai, did you want to add?
I was going to remind our media that we are working with our FEMA partners, which what Dr. Ifili was alluding to. So thank you. We're taking care of that.
Termineo la tuatalola vanoe le fionga maputasi ya mo sana saunoanga fo I tatu mafutanga ya ona ufa umatule o tatu aso.
Ai. Ua umanga tangoa le fionga lukian kovanga o ia fo le gar ia mes fo le skapoinga le fionga kovanga ma le kapingeka. Alo fa fo mai fo no malo ka ko malo I le fionga al pleskega kama le kongu lo fionga fo il fiong klai ia sui filia malu ngal fongo a mes fo le o fionga fa ia la loa ia fa sing sili mal vaenga fa msngonga e fa ngaile malo lo ko fale ia kupu mai em ko uli le kongu e mesi I mo kofi ale la fanga lo le fio mai inga fa mkalanga lo kapo inga e mesi la fa nga renga le kua o le kopule lea, ele lava nge upu, a lea kongo, na lava ko ngongo mongu, a wasi mongu e kuila mongua. Lea nga le upu e fai, a lu kie puava, e mapua e whangalele, a lea ulu kie kuila mongua. Ao, le mango le kua kama le alo ma le ngang paia. Ia lea lava ke vai mai nga lue. Lea lava nga lue le fionga ka, e mese kai ia, mo tsa, mo foma ia malako uma al kang whainga, a mese kulanga puinga o kaka ko mangi fa mai o le upo sao ia kia o upo fai mo kai wila mongoa ya seka kaka ilo uma we are all chosen for times like this. We all understand the story of Esther, each and every individual human being, and especially ya kako ngele kako ngu le ya se so sao mai le ngi fa mai ai fa kai le kua nga luenga manga lo fai pea kako ele se so maliu le se so mai leo kako falongo ia le kongu ia ko mai o mai fai ko kui fai ko puster fai mo kako suenga no ko sa vali kuso o kam fai ko lo yesili ma le fionga ka kula fongo ia o fa kasi ma le kako red coat mu ma fianga ia ako uma so sai foi ku mai o le kongu ia solo pule wa ka ko wai pu mar pu ai kulanga ka ko le la kangi ka ko lima ai ka ko ngalo lu fa kasi ma fo mai ia mo ka ia mo sa sa manga malako ia me so le fionga kom singo ma leo ia ma le fiako le fionga ka ma lo yesiri uso ka ko ngalo ngei ele kula fo inga ka ko le kua kako loko kele, kako kalo. Kalo mo kako, kalo fo malalalangi. O ke mila wangei, i ngofo ai kako i lalo mo mai salamo e fasuma leongo. So ia, ngofo i lalo mai lo oa o le kua. E vi ia ngu ese, e vi ia o le lalangi. A kongo ke mi ngei, whaalongo i le kua. Whaalongo i le kua ia kako, mar kako loko mo lalo. Ia monguia laso, monguia kapoinga, kuile mongua, kako loko kele, whaafkai.
Ya Amrik Samoa o iuna o le tatou tai au, whamalo le lava pale, whamalo le on sai, o le atau mwhai atu pea lau whai ngā malo e whai tatou mawhutanga whapea, e whailo ai fo i mata upu mo lo tō lau sila fia, a whapea mwhai ona whai asu taitasi o la whapea nā lava ona whai, ai a le lava atu fo i se mawhutanga whapea nei, ia o la whapena lava o na tulei atu i lunga o ala ea ma tusinga ia tala vave a wale lo tō silafia. Mo le silafia le tato atunu o lea ua whafsota i la fionga il kovana le ofisa o le pule o le fima. Ia o la ua u tato talanua saa o le tamaloa e mua maia whamanuianga i tele. Ia o tūlanga o suenga o test, ma tūlanga o whala au, ia o leua silafia e bao e le sunga i le pule o le fima, ia ma o lo whape na ona whaanga i oise a wala e taunu uwawe mai ai, ia manu te leina, ia a sausaunga o tātou atunu i le nei aso, whamanatu atu pea o tātou o lewa i le code red, whai e le tauana e whialua i whafo, ma isi mea, ia whamole, ia lava pale pea ma malolo mai whanua, se i tau fofo atu, tatu whamai. American Samoa, that is our press conference today. Thank you for being with us. We will try to be as transparent as we can and provide you updates on a daily basis. Some days we may not be able to do a full press conference like today, but we will try in other ways through publications, through the air, and written press releases so that you know the count of our community spread, especially the villages where we are finding positives. We want to make sure that all of you feel comforted that we will share with you that information. Be kind to one another. Be kind to our healthcare providers, our healthcare professionals, and our frontline workers, the police, the doctors, and all of those who are trying their best to protect us from more significant community spread. And please be patient. Be patient and bear with us. It is my and the governor's hope to eventually walk us from a complete or close to a complete shutdown to a situation where we are comfortable living with COVID, because that is the phase where we are. We cannot prevent COVID anymore. It's here, but if we learn to live with it and learn to adjust with the conditions of COVID, then we can do that by getting vaccinated and making sure that you're boosted, and then we can all stay safe and be happy in American Samoa. So that is the end of our press conference. We'll see you all next time. Soifua mai manuia, whaftai.